I was born on the 6th of July, the day I fell from up above high. As if the sky began to cry, just to replenish what was dry, I'm like a tear from the earth's eye. You see, the earth was upset because it had just been knocked off its axis on the same day someone stepped on its brand new white Nike Air Maxes. And also God kept calling, texting, emailing, and sending faxes. You see, God was upset because the earth had not been adhering to his guidelines and its actions, not accounting for expenditures and subtractions. Thus the earth and God were both in debt. The moon hadn't even had a chance to grow up yet, but the sun just continued to throw up the set. You see, the sun never seemed to be bothered by anything except a promise or an engagement ring or a one-night stand or a mid-spring fling, because the sun just wanted to be a human being. The sun couldn't believe what it was seeing, and so one day the sun said, "No contest." This upset God, and so he separated the sun from the rest of the stars and all the planets. The sun was in exile. This is what I perceive as nighttime. When the sun was finally freed from its exile, it was so overcome with emotions that it shed tears. And then God asked the sun how long it had been in exile, and it said years. You see, the sun had counted every single day that it was walled off from its peers. It couldn't wait until it was free to go and find some open ears, because what's the point of writing a verse that nobody ever hears? Self-exploration and discovering your inner fears. The sun was a changed man now. It had completely switched gears. What happens when two stars get too close to each other? They become God, sister, and brother from another mother related. They become close relatives and a new star is created. They shine together like two light bulbs in one chandelier. They combine together like a shot of liquor in a can of beer. The moon really likes to be cold. In fact, the moon is almost always cold because its temperature is controlled. The moon's temperament is bold. The moon rather stay fresh and frozen forever than to heat up and get old, because it prevents mold. And so one day the moon complained to the sun. It said, "Why is your temperature so high? Can you keep it down low?" And the sun replied, "No, how else are things supposed to grow? It's all fun and games until you get stuck in the snow. And plus, the hotter you are, the faster you go. So, in my honest opinion, you're going too slow." And the moon replied, "You've been going too fast and it's starting to show. You've been going so fast that God can't even keep up with you. You might not see it now, but it's going to creep up on you. You don't need to drink so much coffee, only a cup or two." And the sun replied, "You're right. I've been speeding so fast that I might smash right through an obstacle. When you're faster than the speed of light, anything is possible." Mercury is super bright. That's because the sun is always shining its light. Thus, its temperature is so hot that it's white. Its temperament is hot-headed and uptight. And so one day Mercury and the sun got into a fight. Because Mercury kept complaining about its extremely hot weather, so the sun got extremely mad and stopped shining altogether. Now this had never happened before ever, but God had already predicted this, for it was quite typical of the sun's vindictiveness. Saturn wears engagement rings on its right hand. It wears one ring for each wedding that it has planned. On the surface of Saturn you won't find sand or any solid land. You will instead find gases inside, such as helium and nitrous oxide, and you will find them far and wide. It has moons and thus a low and high tide. It is so colorful that it looks tie-dyed. Neptune is a very distant person, and so one day the sun said, "Being distant will make your problems worsen." You see, the sun is the only friend that Neptune has ever kept, and thus Neptune had no friends at all whenever the sun slept, because Neptune was socially inept. But that was before Neptune participated in group therapy. You see, Neptune treated people terribly because they wanted it to be something that it was scared to be. What Neptune needed was social immersion, but it was determined to resist incursion or any coercion. And so one day Neptune said, "I don't need anybody." Everybody likes Mars. They treat Mars like it's one of the stars. Everybody knows Mars' name. And so how does Mars react to the fame? It lets it get to its head. It starts to leave people on red. Pluto has a very small ego. It actually doesn't contain one inside, but it does have one in vitro. It's about the size of a flaming hot Cheeto, and it weighs close to zero, but it exists nonetheless, and right now it's under stress because scientists confess that Pluto is not a planet. Venus wears a button-up shirt and slacks with an asteroid belt. Its theorem is that if time ever unthaws, then the past will melt. Because it has a PhD and knows how every single word is spelt. It's very smart and knows how to make good use of the cards it's been dealt. But at the same time, Venus is also very dumb. Given a whole cake to eat, it probably could only figure out how to eat a crumb. Given two numbers to add, it probably couldn't find the sum, but it probably could find the exact difference between a nice neighborhood and a slum. All the kids in grade school made fun of Uranus for its name, because everyone else's name was tame. Uranus wanted to be the same, so right after 10th grade, in the 11th, Uranus assumed a moniker. It would go by the 7th. Now that its name was leavened, its self-consciousness was lessened. It was proud of its new name that all the teasing had impressioned. Jupiter wears necklaces. It's chock full of jewelry. It has no time for recklessness or childish tomfoolery, because it's a big grown-up, not a deadbeat who's never shown up. It will make your mind and its own up, whether or not it's blacked out or if it's blown up. The Kuiper belt is designer fashion, thus it's not exactly the best asset to invest cash in. But I invested my life savings in it and depleted my last bastion, and then I knocked out all of my debt like I had a blast glass chin. My credit card was maxed out and now it's more like maxed in, because I tapped in. Of debtor's prison I broke out like an allergic reaction, like I had an allergy attack from the scent that the dog tracked in. If you were in my shoes, you'd get stuck inside of them like they were cracked in. The ISS costed the US a high excess. It cost $3 billion per year to fly the mess, but I digress. Let's move on from the negative to the positive. It brought 15 countries together to be cooperative, collaborative, and communicative. It's the most communal living that you can live. It has all the resources that 3.9 countries to the power of 2 can give. The Hubble Space Telescope does photography. It's taking pictures constantly, and for the most part it has spent its life mostly problem-free. But it does have a flaw, one that no one ever saw. It has a minor defect like an overbite that's hurting its jaw, but it doesn't infect its pitch, roll, or yaw, and thus it's still not broken. It's unbroken like a scientific law. Our car ride is as quiet as outer space is, and then hope beams from Earth's orbit into our ears and then onto our faces. And just like that, we're grounded and we've reached homeostasis. The Sirius XM satellite network has music for different races, and as it orbits the road that it graces, silence and boredom is what it replaces, with entertainment and information on every single radio station. So we put stations in rotation while we drive to a location.